Hezbollah has confirmed the death of one of its senior commanders in an Israeli airstrike on the southern suburbs of Beirut. The attack was the first in the Lebanese capital in months and came despite a ceasefire brokered by the US a year ago. Lebanon's health ministry said the strike killed 5 people and wounded 28 others.
Israel described its attack on Beirut's southern suburbs as a precision strike. It was the first to hit the Lebanese capital in months and came without any warning.
We were just sitting there and suddenly there was a loud sound. My house is on another street. I came over to check because my aunts live on this street on the first floor. I'm still checking on them. I knocked on their door calling for them, but nobody is answering.
Hezbollah's militant wing confirmed the strike killed Haytham Tabatabai, its top military official. The group is deemed a terrorist organisation by the EU. Hezbollah said the strike, which was launched almost exactly a year after a ceasefire agreement was reached to end fighting with Israel, threatened an escalation. Israel has repeatedly warned the Iran-backed militant group not to rearm and rebuild and called on Lebanon's government to support them.
I expect the Lebanese government to fulfill its commitment to disarm Hezbollah, because only in this way will every citizen in Lebanon have a better future. And only in this way can good, safe neighborliness exist between Israel and Lebanon.
Israel's airstrikes over southern Lebanon have intensified in recent weeks. The military accuses Hezbollah militants of reorganising, counter to the ceasefire agreement. Lebanon's president has urged the international community to intervene to halt Israel's attacks. According to the UN, more than 100 civilians have been killed since the ceasefire came into effect.
And let's get more from DW's Stella Menner in Beirut. Stella, tell us more about this Hezbollah commander who's been killed in this Israeli strike.
The commander was named Haytham Ali Tabatabai. He was second in command for Hezbollah and last had the position of chief of staff of the military wing of the organization. According to Israeli media, it was the military's third attempt to kill Tabatabai. And this commander has quite a long history with Hezbollah. He joined the organization of an early age of 12 years, and then he was involved in a lot of Hezbollah's, mainly in major fights within the region. He was even involved in Syria and in fighting in Yemen. We know from Hezbollah and a statement the organization made that Tabatabai was not the only commander killed in this airstrike in Beirut. Along with him, 3 other commanders by the organizations were killed.
So we're looking at about 4 commanders killed. Do we have any indication of how Hezbollah is going to respond to this strike?
A senior official of Hezbollah said that Israel has crossed a red line with these strikes and that the leadership of the organization will now sit together and decide whether they're going to respond or not. But this doesn't really mean that we have to expect retaliation from Hezbollah now. The organization is in a very, very difficult situation at the moment. Without a response, it kind of opens the door for further Israeli attack on the country and on other commanders. But with the attack, the organization would trigger a harder response by Israel, maybe even going back to a situation we had last year with a full-blown out war. And we have to keep in mind that Hezbollah is massively weakened by the war last year. And it is not really in a position right now to heavily fight back and is not ready for another war with Israel. And on top of that, there's also the current inner political situation that Hezbollah is facing because the government wants to disarm Hezbollah.
Speaking about disarmament, I mean, the Israelis are claiming that Hezbollah is trying to rearm, and yet here you have the Lebanese government that is denying these claims and has, in fact, as you said, also vowed to disarm Hezbollah. What are the obstacles the Lebanese government is facing in this endeavor?
So the Lebanese government has basically done everything they could on a political level to disarm Hezbollah. They put up a plan and they made the decision and even confirmed the decision by the parliament. But now we've reached a stage where in a peaceful scenario, Hezbollah now has to cooperate and has to give up their weapons. But this is what Hezbollah is just not doing. They're refusing to give up their weapons. So this leads now to a question. How do you disarm a heavily armed organization by force? We have to keep in mind that the Lebanese army itself is quite a weak army due to the massive economic crisis here in the country. And Hezbollah is way, way stronger than the Lebanese army. So it is quite difficult for the Lebanese army to be in a position where they can disarm Hezbollah. And President On also said that he kind of prefers a peaceful scenario because he's afraid that a disarmament by force could trigger another civil war in Lebanon.
We'll leave it there for the moment. Stella Mena in Beirut, thanks so much.